Hey, what's up, everybody? I am back, and I've got some exciting news for me, anyways. I just went and got a full body scan from my local supplement superstore here in my area, and just as I suspected, it's time for me to start cutting weight. So I'm going to tell you today how I know that it's time to start cutting weight, what this piece of paper tells me that lets me know it's time to start cutting weight, as well as I'm going to show you where I get my new target numbers from, my calories that I need to be watching for, and how I set this up in my app. I'm going to show you all of that today. Do me a favor before we get started. If you find this video to be helpful, please hit the like button while you're here, and maybe even the subscribe button. Every single day I do a video that shows you how I'm going to build my food plan for that day in order to hit my targets that I need to hit. So why am I cutting? Why is it time for me to stop the bulking? Right now, I've been in a bulking phase. I'm eating like 3,700 calories a day, which for those of you that are on a diet that are restricting what you're eating, you might be like, screw you, man, this sounds freaking awesome. I guess grass is always greener on the other side. One of the things I've been noticing lately with eating 3,700 calories a day is I have felt like my body has just been telling me it's done. We need to do something different. I don't want any more food. You can't keep going like this. I started bulking whenever I was about 10.5%. According to the Bigger, Leaner, Stronger book, which is something I highly recommend, it talks a lot about for men going between like the 10 and the 15%. So when you get around 10, you want to start bulking again. When you get around 15, maybe up to 17, you want to start leaning out to get back to the 10. And you sort of just go back and forth. And so I started bulking a few months ago once I hit about 10.5%. And I've always had that 15% in my mind as far as like when I hit 15%, it's time to flip the switch. So, I've been feeling lately like I think I'm just eating too much. My body is, I think, telling me that I need to like stop eating so much. And so whenever I went and did my full body scan, one of the things that I was really looking for here was, well, what is my body fat percentage now? And by the way, it was one of those machines where you stand on and you put your thumbs on it too. You have no shoes or socks on. So it's shooting electromagnetic somethings all through my body or whatever. So just as I suspected, what my body was telling me ends up really kind of being what I kind of thought was going to happen. That my total body fat percentage ended up being 16.3%. So what I was feeling physically lined up with exactly what I had sort of mentally told myself that I was going to like, when I was going to change, whenever I was going to reverse course. So strangely, even though my body fat percentage was a little bit higher than maybe I would have expected it, I really thought maybe it'd be just a little bit above 15, it falls in line with how I've been feeling and what my body's been telling me. So what that means is now I go into a cutting phase where I'm restricting my calories. I'm going to go from about 3,700 calories a day, probably drop 1,000 of those. I'm probably going to be somewhere around 2,700. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk you through, I'm going to show you the website where I get my target numbers from. I'm going to show you how I calculate those, or how the website calculates those numbers, and then how I'm going to use those numbers in my app to show you how to build your own food plan. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a look now at how how I find the website that I use. I'm going to show you how to get there and how to put your information in so you can get your numbers. So let's take a look. Okay, so here's what I am going to do, and here's how I have calculated my numbers. So I type in this, Bigger, Leaner, Stronger macros. The Bigger, Leaner, Stronger book I found to be extremely helpful, highly recommended for a lot of just absolutely great information on getting some muscle and bulking and cutting and all that stuff. So I go here and I type in Bigger, Leaner, Stronger macros, and I click this fella here. And this is where I get my total numbers from. I just put in a few pieces of information, which is really nice. So we can see here, how much do you weigh? Well, so I am currently hovering around, oh, slow down there, Nelly. I am currently hovering around 227. All right. How tall am I? I'm 6'3". You can see here real easy. How old am I? 43 until next month, still. How much do I work out? Moderate amount is probably this, 4 to 6 hours per week. I usually try to do 6 days a week, an hour each. So We're probably going to go there. Scroll down. Do you want to lose fat? I already did this, the lean bulk. I want to do this now. And so it gives me a couple of readings here. The main one that you're going to want to look for here is down below. These are important to know that your basal, I forgot what this called, metabolic rate and your total daily energy expenditure. Those are numbers that you're going to want to keep track of. I'm not going to get into those today. Really, your target that you want to pay attention to as far as your targets is going to be this. And this is your total calorie target. And so this is actually 20%, so you can change it if you want to be like more like 10. The higher you get to 0, the higher your calories go. But if you want to restrict your calories by like 20% off of like your TDEE, right, which is really kind of the target calorie, you're going to want to do something like this. So you're going to, it was already 20. So 20 for me is right here. Here's what I'm going to go with 20. So you want to make note of this. So we've got 2417. You'll notice that the carbs and the protein are identical. I should have grabbed a pen, but I didn't. I can remember this. Or I'll watch the video later. 242, etc., etc. These are the important numbers. These are now the new targets that we're going to be interested in hitting, right? For cutting purposes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this information and I'm going to go put it into the app, and it's going to, I'll show you how to do that. Let's actually take a look at that now. But again, bigger, leaner, stronger, macro count is what you want to look up, and let's take a look over there. Okay, so now that we know what our numbers are going to be, and we've got our targets, what we want to do is add those now into our tracking app. So you can see here for tomorrow, I've already got some numbers on this. I'm actually going to start this on the 7th, so I'm just going to move this to the 7th. I've already got numbers built into here from the plan that I've been on, which is my bulking phase. Like you can see 3694 calories remaining. This is going to be quite a bit different whenever we go into a leaning phase or a cutting phase. So I'm going to show you how you can change that here on this app. So what we want to do here is we're going to create a new diet plan essentially. So see the little edit sign next to 3694? Just to the left of that, we're going to click that. And it says change your macro goals. Like basically, well, what do you want to do here? What's the plan? And we're going to make a new one. So let's see here. Let's actually do edit macro. I actually do know at the top. There's a plus sign to the right of change your macro G. We're going to hit the plus sign. Let's name it cutting time. We're going to put our protein at, let me revisit here what my number said it was supposed to be again. All right, 242 grams a day. The carbs, 242. See, in the fat, this one's going to be tough. This is 54. I think I'm currently doing like 80 something. And so this is all you've got to do. And so when you hit save, right? So now what's interesting is, oops, I forgot to do something here. Let me see. There we go. I just clicked it again and selected it as the plan. And you can see here now, this is exactly what I wanted to do. Now, the website said my total calorie target was 2417. This calculated it as 2422 based off of the macros it put at the top. 5 calories difference. That's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. This is still a cut, 20% off of my total, my TDEE number. And so yeah, these now become the new targets. So as I am going to be building my new food plans now each day, I have to stay within these restrictions if I want to actually cut appropriately. So anyways, that's essentially all of it. That's how you get your numbers. That's how you put them into your app, and that's it. Hopefully this helped you figure out what you want to do, whether you're cutting or you're bulking, either way. Let me know if you got any questions. I'll be glad to answer however I can. Certainly any of the stuff that you're doing, it never hurts to talk to a medical professional about your own health and all of that stuff. I certainly recommend that at all times. But whenever you know that this is what you want to do, that you want to bulk or you want to lean out, and you want to get your numbers from somewhere, this is where I got my numbers from. And at least for my bulking phase so far, it worked great. So I'm sure that the cutting will be too. Best of luck to y'all. We'll see you next time.